So you're considering getting your real estate license. I think that's a fantastic idea. I've been a real estate agent now for 33 years. Started with absolutely nothing in the construction trades, and it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. You know, I've enjoyed the American dream times 10, and I'm so happy that you're thinking about doing it. I'm starting a video series here from actually just getting your license to choosing a brokerage and how to become successful and make real estate a long-term career. Don't listen to the naysayers that you just tell them, hey, I'm thinking about getting into real estate, getting my license. They're like, oh, it's a bad time. The market's collapsing. There's too much competition and it's super difficult business. But don't listen to them. I've been in the business for, like I said, 33 years, and I've been through 3 recessions. I've been through downturns. I've competed with the most successful agents and built a wonderful career, and I'm excited for you that you're actually thinking about doing this. Myself, I'm a published author of the book. It's called The Lockbox. It's to help agents grow and build a successful career. It's the foundation of long-term success. I've also been a top producer in the state of Arizona and opened a brokerage of my own, and we had a team of over 90 agents and also the largest property management company in our city. So I've been through all the stages of real estate, and I'm hoping to give you some great advice. So I'm shooting this video from my vacation home up here in Arizona in the mountains. So let's go in the house and we'll sit down and talk about what you need to get your real estate license.
Okay, guys, well, here we go. I'm going to show you what you need to get your license. You know what's great about going and getting your real estate license? It's relatively inexpensive. You know, the schooling cost may be $500 to $700, depending on which school you choose. And it's wonderful because like somebody that, like me, 30 years ago, I came from construction, pouring concrete. I didn't have any money, but I was able to get the $500 together to go get this real estate license. And the license gives you such a wonderful opportunity to make a lot of money. So what do you need to get this license? Well, you need to be at least 18 years old, and then in some states require you to be 19 years old to get your license. So you want to check into your state, go on their website and see what their exact requirements are. I'm coming from Arizona, so mine are just a little bit different, but it's all about the same. You need to be a U.S. citizen or a legal resident of the United States to get your license. Clean criminal record. I don't want to discourage you on this. Reach out to your state if you've had some issues in your past. You still may be able to get a license and still work for a brokerage. I've had some agents that have worked for me that have been arrested for different things, and the state asked me to watch out for them a little more than any other agent. And I think I had to fill out a form every 190 or 120 days that I'm supervising them and making sure they don't get into trouble. So if you had something, it's not a showstopper, so don't be discouraged by that. Okay, you're required to sit in the seat or be online for California is 135 hours, Florida is 63 hours, Texas is the longest, it's at 180 hours that you need to be in a classroom or online. The typical topics include real estate principles and practices, contracts, financing, ethics, and then state laws. So you're going to be learning about 2 different, wouldn't say subjects, but you're going to be learning about the U.S. real estate laws, and then you're going to go down into your state-specific laws. Each state has different laws with contracts and different things. You're going to do a little property management and stuff like that. So the actual state test encompasses all of that, so you won't know the difference between if it's general or state. But once you study, you'll see it. But I want to make clear it's not two different tests. So it requires a lot of study. I've had people say, it's going to be easy. It's just 40 hours and I'll go take the test. I bought and sold a number of homes. I'm an investor. It's not that easy. It's not impossible. It's not rocket science, but it takes a lot of study. If you think you're just going to go in and take the school and the test, you're probably not going to pass on the first try. So there's different courses. So you can take a cram course, which is like you can get all this done in 2 weeks. You can take a longer course, which is maybe a month. But a lot of people take the cram course, and that's just fine, but you're going to be doing a lot of studying on your own. You're going to go back to your hotel at night and study till 11, 12 o'clock at night, because in the cram course, it goes so quickly that you've got to do a lot on your own. So you need to pick which one you want to do. And like I said, you can do the online course as well. I do better in person. Some people don't have the ability to do it in person, which is fine. Just get the license. You want to pick a good school. Now, there's schools like local agents that have been able to put on a school, which is fine if they're really knowledgeable and they have the most current test questions. That's just fine. Or choose a school that's more national, that is really all they do is get people to pass the test. So you want to kind of look at the different schools, so which will make it way easier for you when you do go take that test. So in the pre-licensing course, you need to pass their test. It's a proctored test. They're watching you. You pass that test, you get a certificate. And that certificate is what's required to get your state license down the road. So once you pass that pre-licensing course test, then you're ready to take the state test. Now, some pre-licensing course schools will offer like a 8-hour cram session. You'll just go through test question after test question and study, and it's just focused totally on test questions. I really encourage that, and I encourage you to take the test right after school or right after a cram course, because a lot of states like Arizona, you don't have to take your test for a year. But I don't know about you, but things kind of evaporate as time goes on. Take your test right away. You have a way better chance of passing. The state test is about 100 to 150 questions depending on your state. So it's not terrible. They're multiple choice questions, and the state kind of tricks you up. There may be 2 right answers, and one of the answers is makes a little more sense. So you really need to know the material, not just test questions. So for example, you'll need to learn real estate vocabulary. So that's something that you need to learn as vocabulary. There's different types of, you're going to learn a lot of law vocabulary, such as caveat emptor. That means buyer beware. There's all kinds, like there's encumbrance. What does an encumbrance mean? So studying that vocabulary is really going to help you. So I have an example test question here, just to kind of give you an idea of what's on the test. Which of the following is an example of an encumbrance on real property? So you need to know what the definition of encumbrance is. So it's a newly installed roof, a mortgage lien, a real estate contract, or a purchase offer from a buyer. What is it? It's a mortgage lien on a home is what an encumbrance means. So that's kind of an idea of a test question. Now, a lot of people struggle with the math questions. So I'm going to give you a math question. So an investor purchases a rental property for $480,000 with 20% down payment. The mortgage is 30-year fixed loan at 6.5% interest with a monthly payment of $2,428.27. Principal and interest only. So that means taxes and insurance are not included. Now the annual property taxes, here we go, $4,800 a year, and insurance is $1,200 a year. The property rents for $2,900 per month. And the question is, what is the investor's monthly cash flow? Okay, so something that states do is they put a bunch of information in that's really not relevant to the question. For example, 20% down payment doesn't matter. What they paid for it doesn't matter. 30-year fixed loan at 6.5% interest doesn't matter. What only matters here is the 28.27, the monthly payment, and the expenses. So what they're doing is trying to trip you up to look into the rest of that. So that's why you got to know your material. So let's solve this problem. Monthly expenses. Mortgage payment, $2,428.27. Taxes, $4,800 a year. Now they're wanting to know monthly, so we need to divide by 12, which is $400 a month. Insurance is $1,200 a year, divided by 12 is $100 a month. And the total monthly expense is the payment, less the insurance and less the taxes. So the total monthly expenses are $2,928.27. Now, what's the monthly income? They told us in the question the monthly income is $2,900. So what's the cash flow on this property? Well, you've got the income minus the expenses. So the cash flow is minus $28.27 a month. They're losing $28.27 a month. So there's your right answer. So that kind of gives you an idea of the math questions. There's many more, but I just want to get you kind of familiar with what's going to be on the test. So you apply to take your test. The fee is $500 to $300 to take your test. That's with the state. You're also going to have to pay about $100 for the person or the company that's given you the test. You'll need your education certificate from your pre-licensing course, and your background check forms. It's going to be required by the state, and you're probably going to need a fingerprint card so they can check your background. So you complete all this, submit it to the state, and then you get your real estate license. Once you get that real estate license, you need to join a brokerage or a broker. You cannot go out and get your license and start selling real estate. You have to have your license, and they call it hanging with a broker. The broker is somebody that's already has a sales license, that has some experience, that went ahead and took the brokerage test, and they're basically responsible for what you're going to be doing. They're your supervisor, your boss. So once you get with a broker, then you can go out and start selling real estate. So just want to make that clear that you need a brokerage. Now that's a whole different ball of wax, determining which brokerage we're going to go with. You want to know things like what they're going to offer, what their office culture is, what kind of training they offer. You're going to need to be very specific in your questioning and interviewing a broker, because you want to start with the right brokerage first. I've got a great book I wrote. It's called The Lockbox. This book talks about going and finding the right brokerage. It's actually my story of 33 years from starting with my real estate license and going through and making real estate a successful career. I'd get a copy today if you can. It's on Amazon. And it'll give you a great idea if you're just thinking about getting your license, what it's like to be a successful agent and what's going to be required. So get a chance, grab a book. But once you get started with the brokerage, then you can start selling real estate and enjoying this wonderful career. You are going to need to sign up with the National Association of Realtors. You don't have to, but most brokerages require you to do that. It's a little expensive. It's a little under $1,000, but it's something you need to plan on. That'll give you access to the multiple listing service with all the homes, and you're going to be able to get your lockbox keys and everything you need to start real estate. Then you'll actually go in and get your training and start selling. But back on the real estate license, you are going to be required to do continuing education. In Arizona, it's every 24 months. You got to go and spend about 24 hours learning the new laws and keeping you up to speed, which is required to keep your license active. So, what else? That's about it. Once you've got that, I'm going to be doing some more videos on how to interview a brokerage. And going from just basically ground floor all the way up to making real estate a fantastic career. So I hope you like and subscribe so you can continue to watch our videos. And if you have any questions, shoot me a question. If you'd like a video on a certain real estate topic, I can do that as well. And I'm looking, I'm just so excited for you because this is a fantastic career. Don't listen to the naysayers. Learn how to do it right, and you're going to live the American dream. So thanks a lot, and let's go out and sell some real estate. Take care. Bye-bye.